She most
Yeah, sounding like it.
because I
Which is too
remember
bad. Sci-fi is like her life.
last week she tried to join us, and I just kept getting tons of messages. It's not working. I can't get it to work. I'm
Yeah, like
assuming it's
me
the
in the
friends of Zoom.
cafe.
Yours was working. It just was. You
She just
just kept
couldn't,
losing.
yeah, kept patching out.
Well, we hopefully will not have any of those problems this episode.
They shouldn't,
As we talk
theoretically.
about fall TV.
Yes, a subject on which Debbie is infinitely more knowledgeable than I am, so hopefully she shows up.
Well,
But,
so is Dan, because he has to do that for his job. Like, I
yeah,
was really hoping Dan would join us because. And actually, ironically, Dan is not joining us because he's reading scripts, probably, of the fall TV shows that we are going to
yep.
talk about. But actually, I was pretty good. Before I knew this episode was coming up, so I watched several pilots. I watched the pilot for Gotham. I watched
Oh,
2 episodes of Forever. I watched How to Get Away with Murder. I watched Scorpion. I watched Madam Secretary, and I watched NCIS New Orleans.
I've seen advertisements for almost all of those. The preview trailer for How to Get Away with Murder, I think it was an audio trailer I heard on Spotify. Seemed really interesting. Um,
It
Gotham,
actually
I
was.
wanted to know about. I haven't watched any of those. I haven't watched any new shows. I'm waiting for Arrow to come back and for Legend of Korra next week. Very excited about that. There's a trailer.
Next
And I
week
just
is
started
Legend of
watching The
Korra.
Blacklist, which is coming back, but I am a season
Yeah.
behind.
Their new season just started this past Monday.
Yeah, I'm really, really enjoying The Blacklist.
It's very good.
Yeah, yeah.
It was
I'm
it
only
was
3 episodes in, and
last
it's been
season.
fantastic.
And I have to say, having watched the season premiere, it hasn't lost any of the energy it had from last season.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Okay, so tell me about Gotham for starters. I really want to hear.
Gotham, I have high hopes for Gotham because it's a straight up. The first episode was a straight up crime drama.
Okay.
They're not. I mean, it was like. I mean, it is all. They did throw in a ton of Batman stuff just to get the fanboys happy, but
Yeah.
what shocked me though is murder of the Waynes right off the bat.
Okay.
Within the first 5 minutes, boom, we get the murder of the Waynes. I almost was expecting that to be like
Some,
something they wouldn't even do in the first episode.
yeah, something to build up to, maybe.
Yeah.
Did it work
Nope.
for the
Nope.
episode?
We right out off the bat we kill off Thomas and Martha Wayne.
You think?
Prompting a great video I saw of which they basically just edited together all the times on screen we've seen the Bruce Wayne's parents get murdered.
Oh, Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne.
But I liked it because we were introduced to I like Colin Doe's version of Harvey Bullock. I like the young James Gordon. You know,
So is it gonna go in time order from that? So Bruce Wayne will be a kid
yeah,
throughout the whole thing? Okay. It's
I'm
like,
assuming so. Yeah, I don't get the feeling like they're eventually building up to Batman, or maybe who knows? Maybe that'll be like the very last episode of the show.
okay, yeah. Like, this is like a prequel show,
Pretty much,
sort
yeah.
of.
It's and I hope this is kind of what they're trying to show because this is what I've been wanting from the Batman franchise. How does Gotham get to be as horrible a city as it is? And I think that's kind of what they're showing, because
Well,
we
that
see a
sounds
young
cool.
Penguin before he's become like a major crime figure. And even Jada Pinkett Smith's character, who I was like, Fish Mooney, who that? Well, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. She's actually really badass.
Okay,
She was
cool.
like a hardcore gangster in this. So yeah, I have high hopes for Gotham if it keeps doing what it's doing. If because my biggest problem with shows like this similar, Smallville was cool as when it became the origin of Superman. But at one point, it eventually became like Superman, the show, but without Superman. I
Yeah.
actually wrote a blog entry about this recently, so it's kind of, and the same with the show Birds of Prey, which was kind of a show that the CW launched when Smallville got popular. It was like that was trying to be a Batman show without Batman, and it's like, no, we want a super. If we're gonna do a Superman show, we want Superman. If you're gonna do a Batman show, we want Batman. So
Batman is.
Gotham, as long as it stays a crime drama, I think it'll work.
Okay. Cool.
As soon as it starts adding like too many crazy elements, then we might have problems. But I highly recommend it. I give 2 thumbs up for Gotham.
Okay. I may check it out.
It's definitely worth a watch when you finish watching like the 20 other things that like. Like, Elizabeth, you gotta watch Buffy. Elizabeth, you gotta watch Angel. Elizabeth, you gotta watch Orphan Black. You gotta watch Torchwood. You gotta watch.
Yeah, and I don't, yeah, I watched, oh, I need to start over season 5 of Buffy because it's been like 2 years since I started season 5, and I've heard that the season arc of season 5 is incredible, and so I'm just gonna, one of these days, hopefully sooner than later, sit down and start with season 5, episode 1, and just get through all of season 5, at least, uh, without taking an enormously long break. I had good reason for stopping to watch it for a while, but I don't have a good reason for having not gone back to it yet.
And actually, interesting segue. The actor who plays Ben in season 5 of Buffy is on How to Get Away with Murder.
Ah.
Yes. Which really kind of that show sucked me in immediately.
How to Get Away with Murder?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was really intrigued just by the preview clip for it, enough that I stopped and looked it up after I heard it.
Well, I was like, okay, so there's these people, they're in a class, and they're going to talk about murder, and is that going to be interesting? No, that's not what the show is.
Okay.
It's not just a law school class where they talk about different murders. Because it turns out, How to Get Away with Murder, yeah, they really are trying to figure out how to get away with murder in that first episode. There is a murder, and they're trying to get away with it.
Okay.
It's not just a clever title.
This sounds good. And it stars Viola Davis,
Mm-hmm.
who is really good.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. Oh, hey, is that the kid from... Hold on. Is that the kid from Harry Potter? Alfred Enoch. Gotta find out. Hold on.
Oh, you know what? It might be.
It is Dean Thomas from Harry Potter.
I didn't even notice that watching the show. I didn't like he did. I did. I was like, this kid does look familiar. Huh, cool. Good for him.
I think I should check this show out.
I mean, it's from Shonda Rhimes. Scandal and Grey's Anatomy. Those are both excellent shows, and
Good shows, yeah.
so yeah. I mean, it's got good potential, and again, it's not just like a law class, which all the commercials seem to make it seem like they're just sitting around in a big.
Yeah, the commercial made it seem like a law class, but it sounded sort of intense enough that I wondered. And so then I looked it up, and then the little blurb was like, little do they know that there's a practical application for this, or something like that. And I was like,
There is definitely a practical application.
Interesting. Let's see.
And that's one of the things, like, I don't want to spoil it too much, but in that first episode, we don't know who was murdered.
Okay.
In the How to Get Away with Murder, we don't know who they're getting until the very end of the episode.
Okay, cool.
Because they do kind of like a 3 months later thing, like we see them at like their very first day of in this class, and then we see the 3 months later where they're trying to hide a body.
3 months later.
Yes.
Interesting. So how do you think the rest of the show is going to progress? With lots of time gaps? Like lots of notice
I
time
can only
gaps?
assume it's going to switch back between like them in their law class and then them dealing with this murder that they've committed.
Okay.
And sort of say why they did it, what led up to it, and
Okay.
which seems interesting. I mean, I kind of like shows that play around with.
Play along with time.
Yeah.
Timelines.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh well, I guess that's kind of the. Well, I was about to say Doctor Who does that, and then I was like, wait, it's a time travel show. But that's not what I meant, actually. What it made me think of was how in the recent episodes of Doctor Who, they always tell, except for the very first one, they always tell Clara and Danny's story in flashback style. Oh no, even that with the very first one. It has them thinking about it afterwards, and then in flashback style to whatever it was that happened. Like we don't get a chronological. He asked her out, and then the doctor came, and she was late for her date. It's more like Clara's getting dressed for something. Why? Oh, let's go look back and look because Danny asked her out.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, interesting note. Side note. That's not really related to.
No, it's kind of related.
Yeah. Trying to think if I've heard of any other new shows. Mostly I've been excited about returning shows. Or disdainful in the case of Once Upon a Time, because that show is dead to me, but it keeps showing up on my Tumblr dashboard, and I'm like,
I'm totally excited for that.
Costume, but I refuse to watch this show anymore.
I'm totally looking forward to tonight's season premiere.
What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to find out through the fandom the answers to things that I want some answers to, which is primarily what happens with Robin Hood and Regina. That's kind of the only thing I care about right now. But I'm not going to watch it because I was really mad about how they handled some things in the second half of season 3. And I have too many other things to watch to waste my time with Once Upon a Time.
I'm still sucked in. I mean, I just hope they don't do any more child actors, because that's the one thing I hate about that show.
The kid. Well,
because they use the same child actor, except they use them in long sprints apart, where it's obvious the kid has aged.
Yeah.
Yet they're trying to tell the same story. I mean, the worst was, I think, the worst was, of course, last season. You know, the season premiere, between the season premiere and the cliffhanger to the previous season, you know, Henry jumped through a portal and basically shot up 3 inches
Yeah.
and his voice deepened.
Yeah. Well, not much they can do about that when you got a kid who's 13.
No, but at the same time, it's like, but it happens all the time because they'll do the young kid, they'll show a young flashback of a character.
Oh yeah, and like Balefire, that happened a lot because they would have him, and since they would do the flashbacks non-chronologically, you could never really tell how old he was supposed to be.
Like, well, they did the first thing where he went through the portal to the other world, and he was a little kid, and then they showed him hanging out with Rumpelstiltskin, and this is obviously before that happened, except he's a teenager now.
Mm-hmm.
Because they didn't think to recast. And Snow White, they used the same young actress to play Snow White.
Mm-hmm.
And they kept, like, again, it's like she was a little kid when she met Regina, but then she's a teenager when her mother died. It's like, but no, her mother died before she met Regina. It's like,
yeah, confusing.
time does not work on that show.
There have been many confusing things about that show. I sort of blindly accepted things for a while.
I'm still in. I'm still all in. It's Disney. It's ABC. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I did, however, like the spin-off of that show, Once Upon a Time in Wonderland. That I washed my hands of, like, pretty quickly.
Yeah, well, it got canceled. So.
I don't care how much Alice loves the genie. I don't care. Though that was cool because you did get to see like Jafar and stuff, and apparently they are going to fold in some of those characters.
Even though it got canceled?
Into Once Upon a Time.
I guess you could do that because it's the same universe, and so they can sort of salvage what they liked.
Well, the first episode of Once Upon a Time in Wonderland, they showed Storybrooke. Like, they showed the Knave of Hearts living in Storybrooke. And then the White Rabbit came and got him, and I probably just sounded like I was on drugs there for a second. Like,
You were talking about Alice in Wonderland?
And the White Rabbit came and got the Knave of Hearts, man.
Okay. So since I haven't seen any pilots for new shows, returning shows, Arrow, I am excited for.
Totally excited for.
Because I love Arrow, and I overlook all of its flaws because it is a thoroughly enjoyable.
What flaws? There are no flaws.
Reasonably well made, and Felicity is the greatest thing ever. And the big event of the season premiere is Oliver's date with Felicity. So, which is guaranteed to end horribly because why wouldn't it?
Oh,
but,
yeah.
you know, you gotta have. There's always gonna be some violence involved. As long as Felicity survives, which she will, because there would be a riot and the show would die without her, and also Oliver would die without her.
I'm also looking forward to The Flash.
Oh, yeah.
Though I have to say one thing about Arrow. I'm a little pissed off because I had 2 Arrow spec scripts ready to write. Well, actually, one I wrote, but I need to rewrite it, and then another one I outlined. And both of them revolved around particular supervillains that have both been cast for this season. Both of them.
Didn't turn in the specs fast enough. Yeah.
It was like.
That's like.
Well, one of them I kind of like should have known that they were going to do because it was like, you know, it was one of the few actual Green Arrow villains.
Mhm.
Because. I mean, I'll be honest, like, they have not been using a lot of Green Arrow villains, because there aren't a lot of Green Arrow villains.
Right.
Most of the characters on this show have been Batman villains, or Teen Titans villains, or even they've been using Justice League villains. Like, because, let's face it, Green Arrow does not have the world's biggest rogues gallery. Batman, you can do Batman episodes with a different villain and get 100 episodes out of it easy. But Green Arrow, he's got, like, you know, He's got like 4 villains.
Yeah, that does make it challenging. But they've
And
been
I
kind of,
stupidly used one of them for my script, not realizing they might actually get around to using her.
yeah. For my senior project in film school, I wrote a spec script for Psych. And my spec script, one of the subplots involved Lassiter going on a date with a girl and having a girlfriend. And then, like, midway through the semester as I was working on it, or maybe it was near the end, they had the whole episode with Marlo and introduced her, and that was like Lassiter's new permanent girlfriend for the rest of the show. And I was like, oh well,
Mm.
I'll have to go back and change that later if I ever want to go into TV writing. So,
It is tough. But see, now I'm just excited to see that episode.
yeah.
It's like, I wonder if they'll do a better job with this character than I did. They probably definitely will, because I actually think my script sucked. And I need to rewrite it. So, yeah, and Arrow, of course, looking forward to Arrow. I'm also looking forward to The Flash.
Yeah. I saw the promo stuff they released a little while ago, but I haven't looked for any recent stuff. But I'm excited. I hope that there's some crossover between the two shows.
Oh yeah, there definitely
There's
is.
gotta be.
Well, I mean, Arrow makes an appearance in the first episode,
Okay, good.
and he straight up said, like, he actually gives him like the name The Flash. And
Nice.
tells him to wear a mask and stuff, like all the stuff he told. The Flash told Arrow, basically.
Right. Let me pass on the superhero advice.
Yeah. It will be a little bit odd though, because Arrow has been grounded for the most part in a very real world setting.
Yeah. They only started introducing superpowers late in season 2, pretty much.
Yeah, but that's just it. The Flash, from what I can see, is like they're going to be totally superpowers. I mean, you've got the Flash. Like, apparently, the accident that caused the Flash is going to have caused a bunch of other people to get abilities and stuff. And
It's plausible. Or it's a plausible change to the world. You know, like blow something nuclear up. That is how you get superpowers from people.
yeah,
That's kind of how it's done. So we'll see.
but the thing is, it's gonna cause, I think, a problem with.
With the crossover.
Well, yeah, it's just because I kind of liked the fact that Arrow was a normal guy fighting normal guys.
Yeah, I liked that too.
So it's gonna be weird, like when they start doing like Arrow fighting, Weather Wizard or something, like fighting like guys with superpowers.
Arrow fighting Weather Wizard. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of my concern with the crossovers. I don't want Flash to kind of ruin Arrow, I guess.
Right.
Not that I think Flash will be bad, but I just.
It might change things you like about Arrow. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
And
Hmm?
well, and also I want to see more Suicide Squad. I'm just gonna say that straight up.
Yeah.
On Arrow. Because I have a thing. I love the Suicide Squad.
Yeah. Pretty good. And Lila, or Lila.
Mhm.
It is Lila, right? For some reason I have trouble remembering people's names on this show who are not the main 3.
Yeah. Lila.
Lila. The assassin people, League of Assassins.
League
I
of
don't think
Assassins.
we'll see them recently, but
Well, I don't know. Like, well, actually, we will see them because they cast Ra's al Ghul for.
So they did.
Yes,
Okay.
it's not going to be Liam Neeson, unfortunately. Though he did say he would do it, but no, they cast someone else. So we will see the League of Assassins coming back.
Okay, good, because I like them. Mostly, I like to imagine how hilarious it would be if Nissa Al Ghul and Sarah Lance and Felicity all had a girls' night out where they just decided to be normal people and do things normal girls do, and they go to Felicity for
Yeah.
advice on what normal girls do because
I
she.
don't think Sarah and Nisa would bring Felicity along, or maybe they
Well,
would.
no, but see that was my plot was that they're like, well, we don't really know what to do that's like normal and just ordinary. So let's ask Felicity, and the Felicity would be like, well, we could go get coffee, and so then they go to get coffee, and when they ask for the name to put on the coffee cup, she goes, Nissa Al Ghul, daughter of Raz Al Ghul, heir to the demon. You know, as ridiculous as possible. That was my main goal.
And then the barista just writes like Nancy.
Yeah, yeah. Nancy. That would be great. That would be ideal. Sometimes I really just want a sitcom with the characters from my favorite action shows
Yeah.
doing ordinary things.
You know what you would like, actually, if you ever? I know I'm giving you another show to look up, but
Okay.
there was a British show called No Heroics, and it was about a bar where
Yeah, I
basically,
think I've heard of this one.
yeah, it was about a bar where like superheroes would hang out after they were done being superheroes.
Yeah, I heard about that.
It's a funny show, but it's pretty much exactly what you're talking about. It's like they're just hanging out and doing like normal stuff, and like bitching about how they, can't get an action figure or something like.
I'm looking it up.
It's on Hulu, I think,
Mm,
or it was.
cool. Does Legend of Korra count as a fall show?
It should.
It's fall and it's coming back. Did you see the trailer?
Oh, it's coming back. Yes, it did.
I'm really excited. I'm really, really, really very excited.
And I'm just excited because he was like, Toph?
Yes!
Like,
Yes!
Return of Toph!
Off! But
Who knows?
don't
He could be in the
make me
spirit
excited.
world and Toph is dead, but who knows?
I'm 3 years later was a bold move, but a good one. I think that was a really good move to have it be a long time gap,
Yeah.
because it gives them a lot of time to have things change in the world. Like the Earth Nation is clearly up to something, which makes sense since their queen was just killed and the rebellion started. And season 2 left that just completely open ended, but it also gives a lot of weight to the amount of time that um, it'll take Korra to heal from what happened at the end of
Mhm.
season 2. So I really think that it will be everything the fans are hoping for. Hopefully, fans have varying hopes, but I think my hopes and dreams are looking very good right now, based on the trailer, which was mostly action sequences. But my computer battery is dying. Hold on, gotta go find my cord.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a comment, like most of those Korra things are action sequences, so. But that's why I like that show, because it is action. It's cool seeing fire and earth and water, and it's all crashing together. Boom. And yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
All right. Yeah, I'm totally excited. I mean, Legend of Korra. I'm totally looking forward to that.
I'm a
I'm
little
also
bit sad
glad.
that it's the end, though.
Yeah,
I think it's okay. I think it's.
but
I'm not
is it
finding
the
this
end?
ending too short. It's just I don't want to say goodbye to the world.
I mean, are we gonna see? Again, like, just because this is the end of Legend of Korra, we might see Legend of you know Edgar, the Earthbending Avatar,
Yeah, I think I think
and
it's
that and
possible. And they've done the comic books. They may continue with that. They've created a really compelling world, and by having the two series set 70 years apart, they've done some really, really interesting world building, and they could keep going with it. Probably in different medium. I don't think they're going to keep doing TV shows through Nickelodeon, but there's a lot of potential there. Just got to see if
I
they'll
think they could definitely keep going because this has been a popular series for Nickelodeon. It's
just in a normal time slot. But overall,
Yeah. Well, I think the only reason they're doing this is they're burning it off just because. Well, part of it I think is because they have a Legend of Korra video game coming out, and I think the video game spans the whole series. So maybe they want to get all these episodes out, so then they could release the game.
maybe, maybe.
That's just one of my many theories.
It has a loyal following, regardless of how it gets released. So that's good. Very loyal fandom. I'm so excited. Toph
Yeah.
somewhere.
Toph has always been like my favorite character of these
Ah,
of the
yeah.
original Avatar.
And so that makes we have then uh three. Oh, it was three. Three of the five original gang are alive.
Yeah.
Kara and Zuko.
Mm-hmm. And actually, Toph makes the most sense to be alive because she was the youngest of the group.
Yeah. Or she and I think she and Aang were the same age, but Aang had all the stress of being the Avatar.
I think Aang was older.
Think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Toph always seemed like a little kid compared to the rest of the group.
Yeah, she did seem younger, but I'm Aang seemed older to me than he was supposed to be. Like in the first season, he's like, "Oh, I'm 12, fun," but by the end, I was like, "There's no way you're 12."
Well,
So
by the end, he was the Avatar, so yeah, he was he'd been through some stuff that ages you.
yeah, yeah, that's really true.
I'm actually shocked Zuko's alive because he was the oldest of the group.
Yeah, he's clearly very old.
Yeah.
Well, he would be like late 80s. If this is
Um,
70 years after um,
he'd
uh,
be late 80s,
the Last Airbender.
late 80s, pushing close to 90 probably.
Yeah, pushing 90. So
But then again, those Fire Lords do live a long time. I mean, Zuko's grandfather lived to be like fucking 100.
yeah, that's true. And um, there is that one time that they said that um, Avatar Kyoshi lived 300 years ago, but she was only three avatars ago, which puts 200. Um,
Well, but Aang skipped 100 years.
right, but that's still 200 years in which we had only two avatars.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, then yeah, Roku would have to have been 100.
I
Yeah.
don't know. It's kind of unclear. It might have also just been a detail that they didn't think of. But I wonder if we'll get to meet Zuko's daughter, leader of the Fire Nation.
Well, we met his grandson.
Right, Iroh, yeah.
So yeah, we'll probably will. Yeah. I get the feeling that this next season, Korra's going to do a lot of traveling to like figure things out.
It's looking like that. I'm browsing over Tumblr right now, looking at all the screenshots that people have taken from the trailer, and yeah, that could be what she's doing. I mean, clearly she's in the Earth Kingdom. She's wearing Earth Kingdom clothes.
Yeah.
And then the Tenzin's kids have grown so much.
Oh, can I say that? That looks really cool. That the airbenders have like wingsuits.
Yeah, the glider suits. That's awesome.
Which is another reason why it is kind of good they are doing the 3-year gap, because it's like they get to build up the Air Nation, the new Air Nation, I guess.
Yeah, that's really good. I'm really excited, and it's coming so soon.
Yep.
Soon.
So we'll have
I'm really excited.
new Korra, and then you'll have new Arrow right the next week.
Oh. You know, I always think that it's kind of unfortunate that all the good shows, well, most of the good shows come on right as school's starting. I'm not in school anymore, so it doesn't really matter. But as a matter of principle, why?
Well, actually, I learned the whole reason why the TV season starts in the fall is to coincide with new car releases.
With new what?
New car models.
Oh, for
That's
ads?
the whole reason why we have the fall TV season.
Why?
Because then they can show the advertisements for the new
Okay.
model
Ad
with the
That makes sense.
that's the origin of the fall TV season.
You know, the origin of everything always comes back to money.
Yep.
I'm just feeling resentful about this.
Greed. Greed is good.
Greed runs the world.
Actually, I just recently watched The Wolf of Wall Street, and I'm like, no, greed is not good. Greed is scary.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I haven't seen it, but one of my friends watched it, and he said it's disgusting, and that's the point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, like every character in the movie, they keep like the voiceover at some point says, yeah, this person he had a heart attack when he was 28. This person, yeah, they shot himself when they were 30. This person, yeah, no one ever saw him again. It's like all these terrible things happen to all the people in this movie, except for the main character.
The main greed guy.
He goes to jail, but even then he's like, well, I was rich, so I went to like a minimum security country club jail where I played tennis. It really is. The problem is, though, watching these movies, I'm like, I get very terrified because my dad used to work in like the financial industry. It's like, and I'm like, please tell me my dad never snorted coke off a hooker's ass. Please, I just
need to know.
I don't want to know. I kind of don't.
Yeah.
But it's a good movie. But yeah, your friend was totally right. It is a disgusting movie.
Mhm.
It's a movie you should watch when you're feeling really good about humanity to remind yourself you shouldn't feel good about humanity.
You know, I like to feel good about humanity, and it's not like I'm in a perpetual state of feeling good about humanity, so when I am feeling good about humanity, I would rather not kill it.
Yeah. This movie will kill it. This movie will just be like... This is a movie. The Wolf of Wall Street is a movie to make you just basically like welcome the apocalypse, pretty much.
Okay.
They'll just be like, yeah, bring on the meteor shower. Let's end it. Let the cockroaches take over.
uh,
So let's see. I have a what have I not talked about yet? Okay, then and a quick summary of the other fall shows I watched. Yeah, pretty much other than Gotham, I was not impressed by the shows I watched.
okay.
I watched Forever, which is, kind of cool. It's got a sci-fi premise. Judd Hirsch is a character in it. He's always entertaining. I was not excited by it. Scorpion, meh. I was not excited by it. It's the Big Bang Theory, but with, action.
That sounds really weird, honestly. The Big Bang Theory with action.
Yeah. It's basically just about a bunch of socially awkward super geniuses who work for the United States government.
Okay.
And the first episode, like, there was a bit of an improbable situation. Is like they were trying to, like, the navigational software for all of the planes in the United States had a bug in it. And there's this one point where they're basically lowering a cable from a plane to get the software that's not bugged, because that plane didn't get the upgrade. And I'm like, why didn't you just land the plane? If you can get close enough to the ground where you can lower a cable, you can just land the plane.
Yeah, you don't need your navigation software to land a plane.
Well, they needed it for all the planes.
Right, well, you need it, obviously. But if you need the one plane to land with the new software so that they can send
they had the crazy thing where they lowered the wire and this one woman is holding her laptop like this because the plane's taking off again and lifting the computer. It was just ridiculous.
Ridiculous and excessively budget using?
Yeah. It was like you could tell, like, okay, this is our first episode. We need to do some crazy stunt to get people to keep watching. Okay, we'll have a sports car, we'll have a plane, and they'll have to lower a wire. If someone was really, like, thinking, how do I make this show interesting enough for people to keep watching?
Yeah, and that's always a bad sign.
Yeah. Madam Secretary, I was kind of mad because we've seen it before. A woman with a family thrust into a position of political power. This show has been done before, and it hasn't been done well before, so maybe Madam Secretary will get it right. Kay Leone, she's a good actress. It didn't impress me. NCIS New Orleans, meh, it's the same show.
Yeah,
it's the same show.
When I saw the billboard for that, I was like, really? I mean, okay, I get it. When you have a show that actually increases in popularity over the course of its 11-plus season run, I understand why you would want to make spin-offs of it, but it's a little much, I feel.
Scott Bakula plays the same role as what's his name does on the original show. It's the same show.
No.
They just recast different actors and set it in New Orleans, which is, New Orleans, great, cool spot to set a show in, but
different setting, nice, interesting, but yeah.
Yeah. That was it. And that's pretty much my summary of the fall TV shows that I saw.
Okay. So.
And you need to leave.
I do need to leave, but I'll take away from your summary. check out Gotham. Check out How to Get Away with Murder. Pass on the
Yes.
other ones.
Pass on the other ones for better shows that are already in existence.
Yes, because there are many of those.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Next week we will talk about something because hopefully other people will be here.
All right. Sounds good.
Better.
Bye.